Hey, how's everybody doing today? In today's video, we're going to talk about the Frankford Arsenal Intellidropper, and I want to kind of show you guys how accurate this thing is, because I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube of people kind of bashing it or shaming it, sending it back, whatever have you, because their scale drifted so much, or um, they would like put their powder charge on there and it would always be like um, 0.1 grain off. So I kind of just want to show you this video to show that this really is a good powder thrower, whatever you want to call it. Um, it works perfectly fine. When I unboxed it and I set it up, I did notice a few things. What I noticed was it takes a really long time to warm up. Um, I'd say anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, because the instructions tell you 15 and then you can calibrate. I would even give it longer. Like I said, I'd give it 30 to 45 minutes and then start using it. So I just turned it on. It's been on for probably about 3 minutes now. But I just want to start this section of the video, let you guys know what I'm going to be showing you, and then we'll come back and we'll actually start using it. I got my Hornady manual over here. Just came in the mail. I have a Nosler one, but I have some Hornady bullets that I want to load as well. So might do some loading in this video, but mainly I just want to show you how accurate this thing can be. And if you are having this issue where it's stable at 0.1 even when your pan is empty, I'm going to show you, how you can get that zeroed out. Because right now it's stable, but I'll hit 0. And it might even go back to that negative 0.1. Or it might go over to plus 0.1. So we'll see. That was the issue I had. It was going over to +1. So we'll see. But I've got this thing pretty much figured out, man. I mean, every time I put the pan on, take it off, throw a charge, it's zeroed out. It's fantastic. So I think the people who did have negative things to say about it in the videos, they weren't giving it the time to warm up. So yeah, I'm just gonna give it another 20 minutes or so, and then we're gonna start throwing some charges. So we'll be back. All right, guys, so we are back, and I've let the scale sit probably a little longer than what I said. I was working on editing a video, so we've probably let it sit for closer to an hour now, but we're back. So I wanted to kind of explain to you guys that this was at deviating from 0 to 0.1, even when I had turned the camera off. But that was as expected anyway. Eli. Sorry, my son thinks every time I start recording and talking that he should just start fake coughing and alarm the YouTube community that I have a choking child in the background. But sorry, anyway. So yeah, it was deviating from 0.1 as I expected. But I zeroed it out and it sat at 0 ever since. So one thing I want to point out, or more so a couple things that I want to point out about this scale, is that it will do that. It has to warm up. We've touched on that. But I think it's really important too that you have the scale centered out. So in the instructions, it says that it can like deviate all the way up to like 0.3 grains if you don't have it level. So depending on how off yours is, that could be contributing to why it's not zeroing out. So I try to get mine as close as possible. Another thing that I want to point out is that whatever your powder thrower is on will affect the 0 as well. So like this bench I have it on, it's pretty close to level, but even then my bench, it's sturdy, but it's the kind of sturdy where if you bump it with your knee, it's gonna shake. I mean, everything's gonna shake if you bump it with your knee, but like if I put some pressure on it, the whole thing is gonna kind of shake a little bit. So even with that, the scale will pick up on that. So I can put my foot down at the bottom or just heavily rest my arm on the bench, or I might even be able to jump in the room and it's gonna read it. So let me see if I can get it to do it. See? Goes to 0.1, and then if you give it a minute, it should go back. So now it's not going back, of course. Whatever, so we'll zero it. But now that I have a 0, it's not gonna keep going back to 0.1. It's gonna stay at that 0. So we'll let that sit for a little bit just so I can prove to you guys that it does stay. It's been at 0 for the past like 20 minutes before I even started recording. So let's see. So I'm gonna throw a charge. I can't throw a charge off my phone since I'm recording right now, which I would like to do to kind of show you the features of that app. So what I'm gonna do is just type in various charges, and then I'm gonna throw it in back to the chute, and we'll just keep throwing some charges so I can show you how accurately this thing throws. Oh, that's why it was reading 0.1. I actually dropped some grains in the pan. Another thing I've noticed with this too, though, is when you put this on or off, sometimes it'll make it vary. See, it does that. So I have noticed that if you zero it with the cover on or off, and then you take it off or on, whatever you had it, and make it the opposite, it'll vary within that 0.1. So not a big deal. All you can do is just zero it out, and it will hold that 0. What, man? All right, so we're gonna zero, because I like to do it with the cover on, just to eliminate the current in the room if there is one. All right, wait for it to stable for a little bit. That's good right there. And then I'm gonna throw a random charge. So I'm gonna throw something along the lines of my 338 charge. So I'm gonna do 90 grains. All right, so through 90 just fine. See, we remove that cap, it goes to 91. So like, this thing is real sensitive, guys. I actually dropped a grain in there, so I'm not gonna remeasure that. So it does have an auto mode too. All right. Whoops. So as you can see, it goes back to 0 with the cover back on. With it off, it likes to go to 90.1. So now we're gonna do something more trickier. We'll go to like 90. Let's call it 91.6. 91.6 on the money. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set up the auto function. So now what's going to happen is once I put this pan back on here, it's gonna start throwing by itself. So that one was a little iffy. It might have overthrew by 0.1. But that's all right, because if you don't like it, just put it back. Put that on. And throw another one. And I have tried the auto function before. I only had to throw over one other time, and that was when I tried doing a pistol charge. And it kind of was going like really fast. So I don't know if it was used to that low grain weight at first, but then I started throwing it after. And I mean, it threw just fine. I mean, there you go, 91.6 again. So as you can see, it's very sensitive to, obviously you can tell, like once you move that cap, that's that air hitting it, which changes it just slightly. So now what we'll do, we'll take it off the auto mode, go back to manual, and I kind of just want to show you like a pistol charge right quick. Okay, I guess after this one. $91.6 again. And they do recommend in the instructions that you throw with this on to eliminate the wind current in the room, or draft, whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna go all the way down. We're gonna cancel, and we're gonna go all the way down to like 4.3 grains. There you go, 4.3. My son's over there stomping, giving the machine a challenge too, so if you want to count that in, you can. But we're zeroed out. There it is. And start. So I overthrew that one. That's all right. Let's throw another one. .3. So as you guys can see, it's pretty consistent. It's right on the money. It goes back to 0 just fine. I mean, you guys saw it for yourself. It does that right there. But just give it a minute, you know, to kind of just sit, and it goes right back. So I mean, it's just patience, guys. Even when setting it up, I mean, some people, sure, you might want to just reload, you might want to just start throwing right away. But if you just let the thing warm up, you know, if you know you're going to be reloading, just let it warm up ahead of time before you start reloading, and it's right on the money. You know, sometimes the stable will flash on you, but it stays at 0. And if it does change from negative 0.1 or plus 0.1, it's going to go right back, or, you know, just hit 0. It'll stay there. So I do recommend letting it warm up. And then if you guys got one and it's new, I would still let it warm up before you even calibrate it. So I would do 30 to 45 minutes at least. And then if it is staying at that 0.1 plus or minus, after like 20-30 minutes, go ahead and 0 it out and then let it sit at that 0. And usually it seems to read itself, you know, and pinpoint that new 0 that you had set, and it'll stop deviating on you. So I just wanted to make this video, guys. I thought it was pretty important. You know, go ahead and get you one of these if you're thinking about it. They go for really good prices. I got this one off Optics Planet. You know, use the coupon, use some Optics Planet bucks, probably like $2 or $3 in Optics Planet bucks, excuse me. And I got this for like $180. And I know these can go all the way up to about $240. So that's good. And then the RCBS one that's people compare to this one is about $240 as well. So yeah, got it for a good price, and it works well, holds it 0, it's fast. So I'm really gonna love this thing. Gonna be a lot faster than my my lead powder thrower. So thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video.